Hello, Good Vibes lovers. Welcome to another exciting show of Good Vibes Talk Show with myself, Coach Thoriso. As you know, guys, the show is all about enhancing our way of living and adding all positive energy to everybody out there who might be going through a lot. So today in the studio, guys, we're going to be talking about relationships, yeah? I know you might be thinking relationship with your partner. You are right. However, we're also talking about relationship with self. And obviously, I'm not alone. I've got amazing coaches in the studio. So stay tuned for they are here in the building. Welcome back, everybody. So today on the studio, we've got Coach Nomasonto Zwani, who is a sacred relationship coach and an author. Coach, thank you. Welcome here on the studio.
Thank you for having me here, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, nice. Please tell me or our viewers a little bit about Coach Nomasonto and why are you a sacred relationship coach? Is it possible?
Okay, Coach Nomasonto is a mother of three,
Nice.
2 adults. I must make it very clear: 2 adults
How old?
and a child,
Okay, nice.
19 and 17.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm a happily married one. I must also say that
You gotta say that,
happily
definitely.
married. Next end of this month, it's going to be 12 years full
Oh, wow.
in marriage,
Wow.
but together 16 years.
Nice.
I'm a businesswoman and
Nice.
I am a sacred relationship coach. What I mean by a sacred relationship coach, it is your best relationship with yourself.
Nice.
The bad, the good, and the ugly
Ooh.
of all of you.
I like that already. Okay, when we grew up, we never thought about how to become better with oneself. We're always wired to think about other people than us. So now, if you are telling me that I need to have a better relationship with myself, where do I start? What do I need to do?
That's why I do the work that I do,
Yeah.
because now a lot of us, we have been taught to live for other people, and actually with even the society that we live in, it is promoted that you have got to look after other people first before you. But what is the reality is that everything in this life starts with you. Actually, there wouldn't be my kids if it were not for me. There wouldn't be my marriage if it weren't for me. We wouldn't be here in this studio if it were not for you who was gifted with this idea.
Nice.
So it is very important for all of us to understand that everything starts with you before it goes to anything else that you can think of.
I like that. I like the start with me. Where do I start, Coach? Here I am at home thinking, the coach is talking about relationship with self. But what is it that I actually need to pay attention to regarding myself? Is there any tips, I don't know. Where do I start?
Where you start is how you are feeling at any given moment.
All right?
Whether you are happy, whether you are miserable, whatever it is that you are feeling, that's where you start. Because everything about you starts with you feeling a certain emotion. Now, I always say to people, we've got this thing that we only embrace certain emotions that we feel. When we are happy, we want to celebrate that. But when we are sad, we don't want to be in that space. We don't even want to talk about that space. But the reality is there is a reason you are feeling that way or you are in that space. So it's important for you to also start paying attention as to why you are feeling that way in any case versus what you always feel, which is being in a good space.
Oh, I like it, the other part where you say that the good, the bad, and the ugly. Can I embrace my ugliness? Should I embrace my ugliness? Shouldn't I be actually hiding away from the ugly part of me and embracing the good part of me?
That's the unfortunate part. Whether you decide not to embrace it, it is you at the end of the day. Then, people don't always say to me, no, this person, they bring out the worst in me.
Yeah, yes,
It is
keep
what
on
it's
poking.
they bring out the worst in me. It's like somebody comes from wherever and puts in this person in you that just comes up because of. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That aspect, it is also another you. And you rejecting or deciding that I'm going to hide it, it is you rejecting a huge aspect of yourself.
A huge aspect of myself.
Yes, because that part, it is still also you. It is also a very huge part of who you are. So if you hide it, fine, good and well, hide it under the carpet, but believe you me, there are people who will come and bring it out, help you bring it out.
So it's better to do it yourself.
You might as well
before.
do it yourself. You might as well do it yourself, accept it, acknowledge it, and most importantly, embrace that it is also a part of you.
Can I look at it as a part of healing? Let's say I had a bad incident that happened years back, and I don't want to talk about it. That's the part that I am hiding. Would you say that now having a better relationship with myself is actually dealing with what happened back then? And then, is it similar thing, more of a healing?
It is more of I don't like using the word healing because the minute you say healing, people are thinking, oh, there's drama and whatever.
Yeah.
Healing, what people need to understand, healing, it is actually called love. What we call love, or what love is, it is actually healing. Because even when you are in a relationship with somebody else where you are sharing or expressing love, you are actually helping each other heal certain aspects of yourself and expressing it in this relationship.
Wow.
So now, once you start now looking at this part of you that happened that you are hiding, now you are saying, I am giving love to this aspect, this part of me that happened, this part of me that I actually experienced.
Wow.
Now I'm giving it love and I'm allowing it to be part of me.
Wow.
Instead of me hiding it away, because in any case, it will always want to show up.
Wow.
One way or the other.
That's powerful. Love. Like, that is powerful. So in a way, the way I understand, is more like we are running away to accept ourselves completely of who we are.
Yes.
We rather now embrace this, what other people are seeing, and then neglecting the other part. And that equals to not loving yourself completely, wholeheartedly. But then when you dig up that whole bad incident or part of you, you are embracing the whole love, which is God.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
Coach.
that is why when you are in a relationship, let me take people that are at home,
Yeah.
spend time with you.
Yeah.
They know an aspect of yourself. They know a different person than what other people you are showing out there in the world.
Sure.
That is why a lot of us are actually challenged
Yeah.
when it comes to our relationship with the people that we knows us better. Because now they know these other aspects that you are hiding away from in the world.
Yeah.
Hence, there's always animosity between siblings or
Sure.
like parents and
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that, because those relationships, they expose the true you versus the aspect of you that you want everyone to know.
Sure. Okay, that's amazing.
So
that is amazing, Coach. You're doing a beautiful job. You're doing an amazing job, and I know you also have got the what is it, the courses regarding this. Like, let's say for me, I want to start becoming better. Can I? How do I need to be my coach, or can I enroll one of your courses, or I can start myself? I can read a book or something, because I want to help viewers out there to start where they are currently right now.
okay, with me, you can. I always say, start where you are being led.
Okay.
If you see and you resonate with anything that Noma Sonto is saying or Coach Thoriso is saying, already you have been given direction of what is it that you are comfortable working with at that taking a present moment. So now what you will need to do with me specifically, I've got a group on Facebook where I do a whole lot of free coaching.
Okay.
There's programs. There's a program that is there called a 21-day get to know your love story.
Wow. Okay.
Challenge, where in that 21 days you will find aspects about yourself that you've been hiding. Then you'll get to meet them and know what to do with them, because it's a daily program that has got aspects that you need to work on. So that is one of the best part that I will say. If somebody knows Noma Sonto, please, you can go and join that group and do that challenge. It is free. You don't have to pay anything besides you putting in the commitment and putting the work.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is indeed the best relationship one can have is a relationship with self and with the divine God. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Stay tuned. We are coming back after the break. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. On the studio again, I have amazing coach who is Thabo Machiye, who is our couples coach, also an author of an amazing book. He will tell you about it later on. So, Thabo, welcome here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Welcome. Be at Good Vibes. Be at Good Vibes. Be comfortable. So Tabone, you mostly deal about couples and marriage.
Yes.
Who is Tabo actually? Why are you even a couples coach?
Thabo Maji is firstly a man in Christ.
Nice.
I'm a husband to only one wife. I've got 4 amazing babies,
Okay.
2 boys and 2 girls.
Nice.
So I believe I got into the relationship and marriage sector because of, as a man, I believe that I'm actually an ambassador of love.
Oh wow.
So in that regard, I think I started while I was in school. I'm one of those guys who used to write notebooks,
Wow, poems
songs.
and nah.
You
So you're
play-
romantic, eh? Or romantic?
Look, I was born romantic,
Ooh, listen to that. I like that.
So I used to write all the love poems, and as you grow into it, and as you get into the stage of adulthood, you realize as to what exactly is my purpose.
Okay.
Then I had to look back at where I come from, what I used to do,
Nice.
and what I've been doing consistently.
Nice.
Then I realized that in actual fact, this is my calling,
Oh wow, nice. About love.
about love.
Wow. Okay. How long have you been married, if I may ask?
I'm married for 10 years.
Oh, nice.
It's a decade,
Yeah.
and I must tell you, it's such an amazing journey.
Nice.
It's
Well,
so-
big up to that. Big up to that. Well, okay. You have an experience of being singlehood and being in marriage, right? And what are the most challenges actually when people come to you in terms of marriage? What mostly do they find difficult to manage in their marriages?
I think we have this belief that what happens when you are single,
Yeah.
it's actually different to what happens when you are married. But most of the things are just an integration. It's nothing new. It's just that when you get to that in that environment, now you're thinking, I have to do things differently. I have
Okay.
to be a different person. But all you need to do is just to engage your maturity. You just need to get to a point where you say, let me grow in this marriage thing.
Nice.
But when you look back, you realize that in actual fact, there's nothing different from what I was doing there.
Okay.
So the commitment
Yeah.
is still the same, even though there's just the legalities when you get
Nice.
married. Because now when you're with someone officially, you legalized it.
Yeah.
But when you're with that person before the marriage, the commitment is there.
Yeah.
Because remember, you first have to commit spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Then
Yeah.
when you get married, you now commit even physically, and
Okay.
then financially, and in every possible way.
Nice.
So we just need to realize that in actual fact, it is just a process of growth. It's a second step, basically,
Okay.
into saying, now I am married.
Okay.
But when you look and say, in my single life,
Yeah.
what is it that has been different? Then you will realize is that now it's a matter of committing to my responsibilities, being accountable to
Okay.
somebody,
Okay.
not only to myself, but the growing process still continues.
So I actually don't have to be a marriage type to get married. I just have to be myself, in a way.
Look, I'm not sure if there is such a thing as a married type.
Well, they are out there. You don't know. You see, you've been married for 10 years. People, they tell you, we want marriage materials. We want marriage types.
Exactly, and look, when somebody says something like that, am I marriage material? And I'm thinking, you can be the right material in the hands
Of
the right sower, in the hands of the right. What do they call these guys who are knitting stuff?
Okay.
And if you are in the hands of the right potter,
Yeah.
you can be the right material.
Nice.
Because you can be influenced to be who you are supposed to be. Hence, it is important that you choose the right person who would understand that I have to be the right material myself. I
Sure.
have to be the right potter myself to try and understand who you are.
that's where now the self-relationship starts.
Yes.
Because if you say, I have to be right with myself first before even the next person, that's why it's so important now to actually work on this self first before even engaging in a relationship.
Okay, and you know what I found interesting is that most of us, we get into marriages without knowing the self and hope that we'll understand each other when we get there.
Sure.
But then I've got a question for you. You mentioned something that when we get into a marriage, we commit financially. It is said out there that the number one problem that causes problems in marriages, it's money or the finances. What is your take on that?
Look, I don't really think money is the problem.
Okay.
The problem is us. How is our relationship with money, even as individuals, even as a single person?
Yeah.
How's your relationship with money?
Yeah.
It's the same as any other form of a challenge that you might face in marriage. Kids cannot be a problem. Money cannot be a problem. In-laws cannot be a problem. Lack or abundance of anything cannot be a problem. It's all about how matured we are ourselves in our commitment as man and wife. The spirit, the soul, and the body. Are we in the right place? Because if you are not balanced as a couple, then anything can just come in between and break you. It doesn't have to be money. Because we can cry and say, we don't have money, we are not making a lot of money, and therefore our marriage is struggling. Then when we get money, it makes us to be more of who we already are. If we were not respecting one another, if we were not loving each other right, that money will make me feel like now I have money.
Yeah.
She's not going to tell me anything. So whatever that we have, remember, I think a lot of people don't understand what marriage is. And marriage is such a simple thing. Marriage is simply the man and the wife.
Okay.
Without kids, without money, without all the assets.
Right.
Marriage is just the two of us.
Okay.
So if we understand that concept, that marriage is just the man and the wife, then we would address everything from that angle. Understanding love is just me and you. With or without anything, you and I are the marriage. So if anything comes to challenge our marriage, then we know that we stand together. We know that we're going to face it together. We know that we will address it together. So whatever that we have should not challenge our identity. Remember, our identity is marriage, and the marriage is you, me and you.
Just the two of us.
That is
without
what,
other elements in it.
no other elements.
Nice.
Just the two of us. We are the marriage. Remember, even when we can take it scripturally, we understand marriage from the point when God said, hey, this guy, he's alone. And that is not good. And when he made Eve from him, when he woke up, he didn't show her the wealth, he didn't show her anything else. He just said, this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. Who told him that God took him out of him? Nobody told him.
That's quite key.
But then he understood that just me and this one. Because she was not there before I fell asleep. So now I can understand. Hence, it is important that as a man, I always say to ladies who ask me, how do you know? How did you know that this is the one? I said, look, as a man, a matured man, you know the moment you meet her. That this is the woman that I'm going to marry. No.
They don't see who we are the ones.
Luna, you will end up having to ask, when are you marrying me?
Oh, we're not supposed to ask that question.
Why would you do that?
Well, we want to see if the relationship is progressing or not. Shouldn't I ask? Shouldn't we ask?
A relationship has to start on a purpose. Relationships nowadays, they just start. You give me your number, I send you a WhatsApp, hello in the morning, hi. And then the next day, when I check on you, I'm no longer saying hello, Thoriso. I'm saying, hey, babe. And when you respond, I know she's already taken.
Hey, hon.
And now we find ourselves, a lot of people are just in purposeless relationships. And I call them situationships.
Situationships.
Because you just find yourself in a ship that you don't even know who's the driver. Is it going forward? Is it stagnant? Or is it going backward? And you will end up asking yourself, am I in a relationship? Or am I just going with the flow? And that is where the problem is. The moment you get to ask yourself that, you must know that you are in a purposeless relationship.
But Bomo guy, they don't want serious talks. They want to go with the flow. So if, let's say I am here, I'm ready for marriage. Obviously, I need to be in a purposeful relationship. By that, I need to ask certain questions. And then will come, are you in it for marriage or not? Am I allowed to ask that or not?
From the onset, you have to lay your cards on the table. And in actual fact, remember, I am the man. I'm the one who's supposed to look for a wife. Why? Because I understand that there is favor when I find a wife. Favor from God. Now, if I have to wait for you to ask me, if I'm gonna marry you, then it means I'm not well positioned. Then you should ask yourself, who am I with?
On that note, guys, we're coming back. It's getting juicy in the studio, so stay tuned. We're coming back. Welcome back, guys. It's really, really getting juicy in here, eh?
It is.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask you this question before we went on the break. There's this thing that most of us are challenged with, being unequally yoked. You know, immediately when somebody has got a problem, I'm thinking, maybe it's because really we are unequally yoked with this person. That's why we are having these problems.
Yeah.
Can you please share? What does that mean?
One thing we need to know, as it is also written, is that all things happen to the just and the unjust. So we can be equally yoked, but that doesn't mean that problems are eliminated or else we are exempted from experiencing problems. So I think the issue of unequally yoked, most of us only look at it from a spiritual perspective only, and also from a limited mentality as well. We're thinking just because we are going to church, the two of us, then
Yeah.
that means we are
Equally
equally
yoked.
yoked. And there are people in church who have issues. And that equally yokedness basically is just to say, do you believe in the same faith as me? Do we believe in the same God? That is the spiritual part of it. You know, because we do go to church with people who don't necessarily believe in God, or they are not yet sure
Yeah.
whether I want to be here or I
Or
don't.
not. Testing waters.
The brother or the sister visited today,
Okay.
and then he sees Thoriso,
Yeah.
and he's thinking, this is the lady. And Thoriso think, I found him in church.
Ah.
That means we are
Togetherness.
you know,
Yeah.
and you find that no, that is not the case. So you need to understand a person's spirituality. How is their spiritual journey? Now that will give you an idea if they have the same faith or they don't. The church building should not blind you to think that we are on the same path. Now we have a lot of people who are also spiritually yoked. They were raised in the same faith,
Yeah.
but when it comes to the soul, they are unequally yoked. Because now the process of soul mating is often a lifelong one. We see that in marriage because your soul does not remain the same.
Yeah,
You
it
grow.
evolves. Yeah.
And as you evolve, as you grow, then your partner needs to be able to align with you. And that can only happen through communication. So whenever you see something, maybe you develop a new habit today, or you develop a new vibe, or you want something different, you need to bring me in. Let us grow together. That is the process of soul mating. That is a lifelong process, especially in marriage. Now, we need to understand that that does not mean we're exempted from problems.
Okay.
And when problems come, when you start thinking that maybe we are unequally yoked, then you must have known from the onset that we are unequally yoked. Now maybe you were just trying to see if it will work. Now that problems hit us, you say, no, maybe we are not equally yoked. Now, instead of seeking the light for solutions, you're looking at the door. You want to get out because we are unequally yoked. And that is where the problem starts. Hence, a lot of couples don't even fix their issues because you want to fix issues, but you're looking at the door
Okay.
at the same time.
So you're not building to stay. You're tired of building. You just want to go out now.
You just want to go out because the moment you think to yourself, maybe we are unequally yoked, it means you already had that insecurity from the onset. And you know, because, this is a topic for another day, but you find a lot of sisters who find unbelievers, bring them to church,
Yeah.
make them their
Yeah.
men, make them husbands,
Inguli
and then when
bengulu.
problems come, then you're thinking, maybe we
Yeah.
are unequally yoked. And that is what is going to influence those type of thoughts.
Actually, I love what you mentioned when you say your soul, you evolve. As a soul, you evolve. And I also normally say to people, you actually meeting an aspect of yourself on a daily basis. Because who I was before this time,
Yeah.
I'm completely different as now as we are having this conversation
Yeah.
versus who I thought I was before we came here.
Yes.
So it's very important for people to also understand that you are in this getting to know yourself in this process
Wow.
of being in a relationship. It is not a set thing that Mina, I'm like this.
Yeah.
What you are referring to, it's a history, something that has already
It
happened.
happened. Yeah.
Whatever aspect of yourself that you don't know, it hasn't happened.
So I would say now, in this situation where they're drifting apart, So now it will need one to actually have a relationship with self all over again. But it will come to a point where you feel like, well, I have evolved, and this guy, he ain't here. He's not coming with me. Isn't that
How did he end up there and you are there?
Yes.
That is why the growing together,
Okay.
it's very important in marriage.
Please tell them that they will grow together, not this drifting apart.
Look, sometimes it happens because people don't take time to be by themselves.
That's where it
So
comes in.
there are times whereby I have to say, love, let's get the kids to their grannies
Yeah.
or get them somewhere,
Yeah.
have a nanny to, let's rather go somewhere, just the two of us. Or even in the house, we can just let the kids watch their TV, but let's just talk about us. Not our financial positions, not everything that we're doing,
Yeah.
but just the two of us. How are you?
Growth.
I
in
need
a
to
way.
understand where you are spiritually, mentally, emotionally,
Nice.
physically. Are we still working together?
Okay.
Are we still, in one accord?
Together, yeah.
We need to understand that. But we have seen a lot of people struggling, particularly now during the lockdown period,
Yeah.
because they have never taken time to understand or to work on their marriage. Because working on the marriage means working on yourselves, the two of you. So if you don't take time to do that, you are consumed by the world,
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
ministry,
Yes.
everything
Yeah.
else, family, and
Yeah.
so forth. And you are thinking, I'm doing this for my family. And how many people have you found unhappy while they're making it all happen out there? Simply because they have moved from their position of being. The identity of a marriage is separated and shared with the whole world. But the person that you're married to does not even understand who you are anymore. You find people married 10, 15, 20 years,
That's
50
when now they're-
years.
yeah.
But they are just existing.
Sure.
They are not a marriage. They are just two people living together. And we need to be careful not to fall into that trap.
Yeah, and that comes as a result of people saying that when we get into a marriage, I've lost myself. The
thank
minute that you say that,
Yeah.
you have already, it's like you are plowing a seed of disaster
Ah.
already.
You're already
because
separating
you're
yourself.
already separating yourself from this
But what
equation.
creates one to lose themselves in marriage?
Already, once you get there with that
Mentality. Okay.
that because that's what people believe,
Yeah.
that when you get into a marriage, especially us as women,
Yeah.
you lose who you are. Because
I'm
Anisha,
scared
some
of that.
Anisha, some of us will even have to change our surnames. Others, they keep out their surnames.
Yeah.
Now, the first thing that comes is that obviously when I'm changing my surname, I'm already losing my identity
Okay.
because I'm no longer whoever
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
Now I'm somebody else.
Yeah.
But that's what we fail to understand, that you are really not losing yourself.
Okay.
But if you can, all of us get into a marriage understanding, or in any relationship, that you are getting there to get to know the other aspect of yourself that you do not
You
know.
haven't tapped it yet.
Then the ball game changes.
But remember, we are in a growing process.
Sure.
Every day.
Yeah.
Whether you are single or you married.
Yeah,
You
that's
grow each day.
Yeah.
And as you do that, you need to understand things like, what does submission really mean? As a single person, you need to understand, what does submission mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean, like she said, I'm losing myself because I'm taking his surname? No, it doesn't. It simply means you now have a covering. That is, you have a headship as a lady, and you can still flourish because two is better than one. And as you grow into that, you also have the opportunity to discover yourself in the process, because there are certain people who have not tapped into who they're supposed to be because they are afraid of the discovery stage. If I get married, who will I become? No, I'm not going to get married. I'm scared.
Yeah.
But there are people who've got the grace of saying, Lord, I want this. I want to be in it. And as they get in, they learn to say, by the way, I never knew I can be such a great partner. I never knew I can be such a great wife. I never knew I can be a great husband. And now this is where you start. I say to people, life begins when you get married, not at 40. When you get married. Because now you're getting
what are you saying about me? I
I'm
haven't
saying-
started living.
No, you have lived,
Yeah.
but you have not lived.
Oh, wow.
Because now you are no longer alone.
Okay.
You have someone to be responsible and accountable to, and now you have to, Lord, is this the rib that I was taken from? You start asking yourself those questions,
Yeah.
and it's only normal. But that should not scare you.
Yeah.
It should give you the opportunity to tap into another growing stage where you say, now life begins. We do it together.
Nice.
Let's go. That is why my wife and I are the best buddies.
Wow. You make marriage seem so easy, so simple. I hope it is. I'll
is.
come one day and we'll talk more about it. Coach, from you, any last remarks, any last word for me and for others people out there?
You know, my last words are, allow yourself to be. Just allow yourself to be. Not what you are the preconceived
Yeah.
ideas about yourself.
Sure.
Just allow yourself to be and see how amazing your life turns out to be.
You're making it seem so easy. Again, as if it's easy to just be without being judged, without, like you make it seem so easy that I can just rock up and just...
But that's the thing. Even if you are being judged,
Yeah.
what's wrong with it?
Ah.
What is wrong with being judged? Because at the end of the day, you are also judging yourself. You are also judging other people. We have got to get to that space where we are comfortable with being uncomfortable with certain things. That's what we
in
have got
fact,
to do.
judgment is more effective based on how you have already judged
Judge yourself. I love that.
Because nobody can make you feel inferior without
Unless
your
you
consent.
do. I love that. Start with self. Everything is self,
Yes.
self.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. Coach Tabo, you are going to be my marriage counselor, marriage coach, whatever. Let me be found first, and I'll come to you. I have to be found. Like you said, a man is the one to find. Even the Bible says the ones who finds a wife, right?
Love that.
So I will wait to be found, and I'll come to you for a marriage, whatever, that we have to journey together. Any last word for you?
I just want to say to both single and the married,
Yeah.
if you don't have a healthy relationship with and within yourself, getting into another will create havoc. So you need to make sure that your spirit, your soul, and your body are in sync. Because when you are in sync, when everything, there's a clear communication, you are balanced within yourself, it will be easier for you to relate to whoever that is coming your way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Where do we find you? Where do we get your books? How do we book you guys? Please.
I'm on Facebook. That's one platform that I'm very active on. Yes, Instagram.
That's where I
and
met you, by the way.
Yes. Very active on Facebook. Nomasonto Poshazwani. I've got a page, Dr. Nomasonto Poshazwani. My book, Plastic Men. You can get the book through my PA, and the number is 078 067 9687.
Okay.
078 067 9687.
Thank you.
Other than that, you
so
can
much.
just look for Nomasonto Poshazwani on Facebook, then you can connect with me.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you.
Coach Tabo, where do we get hold of you?
I'm also on Facebook, Kitabo Majiye, and we also have a Facebook page called The Love Talk SA. So if you get there, you will find all the programs that we're running for both single and the married. And we also have a website, is The Love Talk SA. .com. So that is where we are found. And if you want to chat to us on WhatsApp, 0833663306. The number again, 0833663306.
Nice. Thank you so much. As Coach Tabo has said, guys, that marriage is actually about two individuals merging together. In this way, it means that it is about two people who have found themselves, who know who they are, and then together, when they are joined in marriage, they become unstoppable. And that is the beauty about marriage, to say that you gotta know yourself better than the other person. Therefore, the marriage, it will be an exchange of selves. He said that is love. It's literally love. So let's get to know ourselves much better and not lose ourselves in marriage, but to actually evolve in marriage, and we'll just see life is beautiful as that. Until next time, guys, Good Vibes Talk Show. I hope you guys had all good energies out there.